What would the set thing be? I don't... Can you play it? I really hope we don't get Birds of Paradise, but at this point, does it really matter? Is it in the game? If so, is it a mythic?
Oh, it's in the game, dude. It is in the game. It's playable. Oh, no.
Alright, I am back. New set came out. Bloomburrow. Bunch of frogs, squirrels, otters, lizards, random little creatures. Pretty neat. I'm starting with Helga. It seems pretty straightforward. There's like a Naya version of this, where like the toughness is 4 on a creature. It does a bunch of stuff. This is Bant, and instead of like the toughness, it's the mana cost of 4, which is pretty streamlined, right? It's not... It does mean you're not playing a bunch of 3 mana cards like the Naya one can, but it's kind of cool though. It's, I would argue, fairly consistent, so I'm running basically every 4-drop worth playing in the game. I like the idea of this deck. There are not a lot of cards in the new set that are super friendly to this commander. Like, there's new cards, but like a lot of them don't necessarily have anything to do with this text box. But I do have Salvation Swan, seems like it makes sense, and this new thing, which doesn't excite me that much at all, but it's a new card, and it's a mythic that I'm willing to craft, I guess, but it seems kind of neat. It's just when you're behind on one of these concepts, you sort of get ahead, like gain life if you're below them, make 1/1s if you have less creatures, draw a card if you have less cards in your hand. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. It seems like the kind of card you want to like flicker over and over, and I'm not really doing that, but I'm willing to craft it. So yeah, what it actually does, I guess I should actually say what it does, huh? Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater, you draw and gain a life, and then put a counter on this. And then this taps for X equal to its power, and that can be cast for creature spells at mana value 4 or greater, or X spells that are creatures, so like Hydras and stuff. It's really cool to play Hydroid Krasis. I haven't played this card in a very long time. I haven't seen this card in a long time. Very long time. It was like when I used to play a lot of Standard. I'm like, do they have the Hydroid Krasis? Of course they do. Like the blue-green Explore deck with Jade Light Ranger or whatever. So it's kind of cool to see that. And then I have Voracious Hydra in here as well, but not super crazy with all that. I could have more expensive cards to cast just for this commander, but I don't feel too bad about it just simply being a mana dork that is also a Beast Whisperer. It seems kind of neat, alright? It's just like a Beast Whisperer in your command zone, which is pretty strong, right? It's pretty strong. Could run, Eldrazi and stuff, though. It depends how often I expect this to survive and tap for something like 5, and also have that matter. If you untap and this has like 10 power, and your opponent isn't dead, I feel like they're very close to being dead, because every creature you cast is just drawing another card, and you've tapped this for a bajillion mana, so I don't even know if you need a bunch of expensive creatures. You could just simply draw into consistent playable creatures and overwhelm your opponent. I also don't know if Mutate triggers it, because this is a 4 mana cost card, but you mutated it. I think it does work. I'm going to go ahead and say it does. So there are so many creatures in here. I like Vivian. It seems neat. I could probably run the Green Praetor, the one whose name I keep messing up. Whatever his name. I can't remember his name. Wow. Vorinclex. Could probably run Vorinclex, but it's a 5-drop, and that's it's not what we're looking to do, I guess. But we are sort of running this, and it kind of does the same thing, so we could run Vorinclex. I don't know what I would take out. Maybe Disdainful Stroke. It's like the weakest counterspell. But either way, play a bunch of 4-drops, overwhelm your opponent, like, comment, subscribe. Let's play some Bloomburrow. Honestly, some of the old cards are just really good with Helga, like Goreclaw. We're getting the mana dork, but we're not getting a lot of land drops. I'm not liking it. Do I keep this? I'm on the draw. What am I up against here? Oh, I guess I gotta read this, huh? Anaya, 4/3, tap 2 untapped tokens, mana. 3, untap, draw. 4, put counters on this. Okay, sure, just because I have Tail's End? Is this a grazer on 1? Yeah, it's a grazer on 1. What am I talking about? Of course it is. Just means no second surveil land. But we're on the draw, so unless it isn't. It's fine unless it is not. Okay, opponent whiffed on the 1 drop. Unfortunate for them. Well, there's no stifle or anything. They're not playing blue. Blue white? No, green. I actually don't know what I'm getting here. Something green. Maybe just breeding pool. Although I guess I technically really do want all my colors. Don't know how I don't want my colors, so. Just need to hit a land here. Okay. Good. Now, there's no Tail's End if I cast my commander, which can be problematic. Though, I'm not doing much without my commander. Given the, situation. That's a cool card. Yep. If my opponent kills my commander, then I guess they're not playing theirs, and I don't feel as bad. Well, that's not a sign of them casting their commander, because they didn't play a red source. Sure. Okay. We need True Colorless for Thought Not Seer, which you don't have. I think I almost want to just take the time to play this. Maybe it's better to, like, find mana. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. This feels like a safer idea. Just consistently hitting land drops and stuff. Seems like something that I should be doing. So I will. Opponent needs red mana here. This is a new card as well. It's actually really good for their deck if they're all about tokens. Sure, so they draw off of that, right? Yep. Yeah, this Caretaker's talent might be really good. It might, like, outpace my commander. But I don't know, that might not be true. Might not be true. Okay, so Goreclaw into, like, nothing? Maybe I wanted to tap Helga there, actually. Maybe that would have been a better idea. Okay. So, this taps for 3, which is really awkward. I think I'm leaving up Tail's End at this point. Feel like it's the right thing to do. This has flash anyways. Yeah, that's fine. And then I can just exile my Simulacrum. Can't say I'll feel bad about that. Alright, they found their red source. Ocelote's Pride is a very good card. I don't know about this situation, though. It's not looking too good right now. Is this like Reprieve? Oh, cool. Sure. Okay, things are getting a little scary here. Those do have lifelink, and the Pride likes lifelink. Interesting. I'm also not exactly pressuring my opponent with, like, damage if I'm, like, trying to not lose to 6 lifelink. Which is scary. Suppose I will cast this. I do have a fair amount of permission, though. Guff triplets and this thing. Alright, I guess I'll take the one that costs less mana. And then I, again, don't really have an attack because my opponent has so much lifelink. Yes, I actually can play this. There is value in hand with casting this. Also, Beast Whisperer. Not used to having, like, the Kami do something on turn anything past 5. Okay, let's end the tail of this. I can't just simply cast it next turn, though. I can casualty my Make Disappear. This is easy at this point. I can also just pick up a counterspell as well. Hopefully this doesn't just, like, draw go until I find Craterhoof, but it's starting to look like that. Which is, Maybe want more ways to find it at this point. As long as they can't really attack. Okay, so when they swing with one, they get another back with the pride. They get 2 back for triggering it, so it makes sense to attack here. I don't know why they attacked with this card. It's kind of concerning. I suppose I'm willing to find out the hard way. And I will simply block this here. Could just block it with this. I'm just not really convinced that they have something that I should be concerned about. Yeah, alright. Blue Candy, what up? I'm fine. Okay, just cast Gore Claw. I think I'm actually going to tap this to cast it. So I have more mana for more permission. Gem Razor is a very good draw right now. Let us surveil. The Seiju is probably just a good thing to have access to. I'm gonna assume it is. Let's put this here. Okay, it does trigger. It does trigger. Even though you cast it at 3 mana. Which is a good thing. Over. Let's blow up the caretaker thingy. So they stop drawing cards. And I also found Craterhoof Behemoth. So I'm going to leave up my permission. And there's not much my opponent can do at this point. Unless they draw, like, the Omega Nuts. It's going to be hard to get around the counter spells here for them. It's going to be very difficult. But Craterhoof Behemoth is obviously so lethal it'll make your head spin, right? Extremely lethal. And I'm not in any danger of getting hit by an opposing one. Oh, unless they cast Cavernous Souls. Then I guess I am. I will counter literally anything. I didn't even read it. Okay, the War Leader, sure. The rabbit version of the Leonin War Leader, the cat. Target creature gets a bunch of blah blah, but it doesn't get trampled, does it? It does not get trampled, but that still is a lot of life gain, and I don't feel like thinking. But again, it really doesn't matter. Oh, I should have cast Archdruid Charm before my opponent went to combat, just so they saw it there. They would have just not wasted their time attacking. I don't believe this is a lethal attack. I should have done the math before I shocked myself, huh? Okay, well, let's do it now. So we block as much as we can for the sake of doing said thing. There. And there. And then I take 5, take 8. Wait, 8 plus... That is not lethal. And that will show my opponent Craterhoof, so maybe they'll concede. Yeah, I could have just shown him it pre-combat. Could have just shown him before I started. What is this hand really doing, though? Getting all the lands out and playing Forceful Cultivator? I feel like that's just not a functional plan. Alright, we just cheese our opponent again. Seem to be doing that pretty consistently. Let's get Breeding Pool. I don't think this is a bounce spell. Yeah, it's just that. Okay. Did not appear to be a bounce spell. Because it was usable before I cast my creature. Alright, well, they had the penultimate best card in their entire deck, which means I am now significantly behind, and half my deck no longer functions, so I guess I'll just cast this. You have Wash Away? Okay, they don't have Wash Away. They have an Unsummon? I'd be less upset about that. No. Alright, not sure what's going on. So now my counter magic has to hit something that is not their commander. I should say this. This says secretly choose, but that is functionally impossible because you can see what they mouse over when they choose a card. Like, you can literally see the card they highlight. So it's a huge design oversight. This is not actually a secret if you're paying attention. Which is just another thing that makes this commander, not really function. Also, you can kind of gauge what your opponent's going to pick anyways. It's not really that difficult to parse their decision. Parse out the right play, right? So it doesn't mean that much anyways. But it is something to take note of if you're not sure. It's like, it's pretty obvious what your opponent's going to do. Okay. Alright, sure. So Linear Elves is probably not what we're looking for. And I can't really do anything, so I guess I'm swinging for one, which is kind of weird. But sure. I can make a food token, or I can mana drain and cheat. See what my opponent lets me do. And I can't counter their commander anyways. I wouldn't regardless. Actually, maybe I would. I don't know. Yep, see? It tells secret, but then you can see what they moused over. So it kind of just completely, like, ruins the idea of the card in the secret sense. So it only does that when it flickers. It doesn't do this on attack or anything, which is also very strange to me. Everything about this card is just weird. It's just design space is funky. I mean, it's an alchemy card. I guess it's not, like, quote-unquote a real card, but it's still very strange. Okay, I'm comfortable leaving up Frilled Mystic and also all my other things, so I'll just pass. I'll let this slide because there's nothing in my opponent's graveyard I'm concerned about. I mean, they can duplicate the Essence Flux again, but that didn't really get them anywhere, so sure. I'm willing to fight over that. So I draw a card. And I also get to counter it, so makes sense. And it grows Helga. Okay, so they found the best card in their deck, which is just infinite extra turn nonsense, but it is not uncounterable. It also doesn't make duplicates uncounterable. Oh, it's not really what I anticipated. So they just tutored for a land, which probably means, well, I don't know, it could mean a whole bunch of things, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to be tapping this for 2 this turn. So, 1, 2... Oh, jeez. This is just so awkward. 3... 4... Because I want to leave up counter magic of some kind. Okay, I did find land. I will shuffle away this Guardian Project for, well, another land. But, let's see. Probably more important to leave up mana right now than not? Does that make any sense? No, I'm gonna just hedge Maze. This is a good card right now, but I'm just looking for a land. Because it's just a good idea. Alright. So, no attack. I really only have 1 counter spell up, and there's nothing I can do to really change that, but I guess it is what it is. If they cast Uro, I guess I'm not even that upset, honestly. They can cast Uro. I feel like I'm outpacing Uro, which is something you usually don't get to say. Okay, well, they tapped the Delighted Halfling for mana of the colorless variety. Then they made a game action after they did that, so I don't think they can undo this now. Casualties of War? Okay. They're going to really need to stop this. Do you have the counter? No, they do not. Alright, we are way, way ahead now. I think I'll use this mana to cast a Great Henge, just to bully my opponent even more. Because it's just a busted card. Makes sense to me. Maybe I use Broodmoth. No, we're gonna Beast Whisperer. Oh, I should have tapped different. I could have floated an additional green. Kind of messed that up. Let's tap this. Use that mana. Okay. Still no land. Guess I can play Thought Knot Seer. I don't really want to take myself off of Wash Away, but if I hit their hand with Thought Knot, maybe that's completely fine. Maybe I don't feel too bad about it. Where are my lands? What is happening? Please! I just added lands, too. What is actually happening right now? Lands, please. Could have saved yourself a lot of priority if you did that a while ago. Oh, they have a castable 1 blue card or something? Devious Cover-Up is a little annoying. I don't really care about Primeval Titan. Maybe I should. I mean, I have to just take this. What am I actually talking about? Land, please? Okay, there we go. Only took 20 years. There we go. Alright, so now I have my counter magic back up, but still not able to swing past this 4/4. Really awkward. But I have a bunch of stuff that I can easily just discard, though. So they can Essence Flux and pick up something that is not Essence Flux, I guess Casualties of War, but then they're kind of out of gas, especially now that I have an answer to it, so it actually doesn't matter. But here, I'll show you, like, now they trigger it, right, and then I get to see, probably Casualties of War. Oh, solve the equation, Casualties. Alright, they picked up Casualties of War. Yeah, it's just like, it's stupid. It says secretly choose, but like you don't you don't have to like worry about it. It's kind of like not functional. Unless they drew another counterspell. Okay, they drew a land, so now we know this is just going to resolve. Why do they keep tapping this? I feel like you don't have to do that. But again, it's pretty obvious what my opponent's going to choose. They have to deal with a Great Henge, right? Like, I'm clearly winning the game as it stands. Do I have a blue source here? Oh my goodness, I do not have a blue source. Alright, so I can't actually wash this away. Alright, fair enough. That's a very good card, though. My opponent didn't actually, quote-unquote, totally destroy my board anyways, and as it stands, I'm not really upset with my board state, so, like, this is probably fine. But our kill speed is certainly a little bit lacking. Let's put this here. And I guess I'll play this for free. My life total is not exactly the most relevant thing. I can pick... Okay, with the Beast Whisperer in play, I'm not really worried about committing a bunch of mana to my commander. Yeah, see, like, it didn't matter. But they have to be 4 mana or higher. This hand is bad. This hand is less bad. Utter Insignificance is probably just totally useless. Of course. How much you want to bet Agent of Rafine is going to completely solo me? Calling it now. Goreclaw's interesting, actually. Okay. Have that card in art. I don't know what you mean. Don't know what you mean. I feel like everything I do doesn't matter, though, because my opponent, yet again, will just have all the things they need. Emperor, whatever. Oh, there's the Naya version, but that's toughness 4, not that's toughness 4, not mana cost 4. My opponent stole a Misty Rainforest. Okay, does it exile the original one too? Oh look, my opponent perfectly answered my commander for the 7th game in a row. Okay, well. Yet again, nothing feels like it matters. Guess I'll just cast this. Oh, yes, this is also blue instead of red. So I guess it's technically better. But the other one can run 3 drops because there's 3 mana cards that have the clause. This has to be 4 or greater. And so far it doesn't matter because I can't actually get it to work because it dies every time I cast it. So I really don't think it matters anyways. Am I casting it next turn? I don't even think I can. It's not like it's doing anything without a card to do it, like, with. So I guess I'm just simply not doing that. I have nothing to go with it, so it just doesn't really matter. I'm sure Key to the Archive will end my suffering anyways. Beseiju blowing up this shuffles their commander, right? Because their commander doesn't change zones when I shuffle their deck? Is that how this works? Let's find out. I'm curious. Pretty sure this just shuffles it. Or they just don't get to search. I'm not sure. Which I would also be completely fine with. Yeah, alright. So their commander's completely gone. That is kind of hilarious. But I don't have much to do anyways. Like, that didn't... Like, that was good, but it doesn't get me out of anything. Still just, like, losing the game. And then they get bailed out from my deck. Not necessarily. I gotta love losing to my own cards. Okay, well, again, have nothing to do. I can swing, but the trade is probably bad for me, because Goreclaw, if I ever actually find relevant cards, is pretty decent. Midnight Clock. I'm gonna actually fight over that, because that will just give my opponent cards, and I can't really afford that to happen. This Agent of Rafine, like I said at the start of the game, is probably going to now completely solo me. Was this a good draw? I'm not sure. What does it copy? Any permanent. Do I copy my opponent's Rafine? That feels really weird. I feel like that's just wrong. What else would I be doing, though? I feel like this is hilarious, but this is probably the right pick. I actually don't know what to do here. This draws a card. I don't gain any life. All this does is draw a card. That is so bad. Alright. Oh. Maybe my Agent of Rafine can keep up with theirs. I do have an answer to most of what theirs can do the first time. And if I steal random spells repeatedly, that can be very useful. If it hits my opponent's commander, I guess it technically allows it to go to the command zone. So, like, I have a chance of hitting their commander, which is kind of weird and moderately concerning. What is this? A 1 in 84? That was a good draw. Let's see. If I play this first, cast a creature with lesser mana value. Alright, that doesn't work. Let's just do this. Not the best hit there. I don't even know if I want to play Vivian right now. I feel like a random card is just better with the agent than playing this, because the 3/3s aren't actually doing anything. Yeah, this just has to be the right thing. Alright, well, that was a little unexciting. There's a chance I draw this and cycle it, and I don't need more colors. Let's just get this. Alright, I guess I'll just play it. Kinda lame. Okay, shields down against the Grixis deck. Not good. Not good. Not really what I was looking for. I can generate a bunch of reach creatures, so this doesn't hit me. Yikes. Alright, I guess I'm playing those. Yeah, I guess I'm just making reach creatures, and there's no reason not to just run this out, so I simply will. And I don't think swinging with Goreclaw is still the right idea, so I won't do it. And you can't make me. Does this shuffle, or does, well, like, how does this work? It's just the top card. Okay, it's just randomly the top card. So I guess if we know what's going on, it doesn't feel as bad. I guess I'll block with the Grazer, because then I can make a second reach, and then they cannot swing. That's what happens here. Well, I haven't had this do anything yet. Might as well cast it, right? Sure. Well, we found a counter spell, but it's kind of a not exciting one. Here, I guess. This is a kind of bonkers game right now. Oh, hey, I got a card. If you control, you don't own. Heist, and then 5/5 and counter non-creature. Alright, that was a very good draw then. Or a very good random hit, I should say. So swinging with Goreclaw is not what I'm going to do right now. I think because I just randomly stole this is good, and also I know what my opponent's randomly stealing off the agent, which is nothing right now. Which is also good. They also should know this. I'm saying also a lot. They should know this because I didn't spam cast, so they should figure that there's a land, but I think you still always just activate it. I don't see how you don't activate it. Okay, my opponent doesn't have anything. That is completely nuts. I'm going to hold on to this counterspell because that just makes way more sense than anything else. I don't have true colorless. Yikes. I mean, there's not too many hits on it, but that's still kind of crazy to me. Mana, any spell, exile top 2 cards at target opponent's library, face down. Okay, let's do that. We're just like playing each other's decks. This is really funny. Mana drain. I am not going to get into a fight over that. That is totally fine. Do I play this? I think I will, because I can just tap this. Yeah, that's fine. I'd rather my opponent not randomly steal Thought Knot Seer. So I can flip this Elish Norn, and it's kind of weird, but I guess I will. 1, 2, 3. And I think in the long run, this puts me in a much better position than my opponent. So I can't imagine this is wrong. I feel like this is just the right thing to do here. And they don't really have a use for the extra mana, because they already have, like, all the mana ever. We do give them Cavernous Souls, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I guess, yeah, Chapter 2 is very scary, with Goreclaw giving Trample to some of it. So this is, my opponent kind of needs to do something right now. And we do have Negate. K-Command. Sure. And then I can make disappear, or try to counter it. This might be slightly better, just because it taps my opponent so low, even if they do get to cap. Oh, I forgot about the random... I completely forgot about the random... Whoops. Alright. -5 it is then. I totally forgot about the Cavern Souls I just gave them. I was just talking about it too. Okay. They have to commit mana to the card they randomly heist. They can't just get it for free now, because I killed it. Probably want it to just negate that then. I don't know. I think I'm still kind of fine though. Sure. Alright, so if I just simply attack, my opponent may be dead. Yeah, alright. My opponent's just dead. That was a bonkers game, and I suppose actually shuffling away their commander wound up being very useful. I didn't think it would be, because it's still just a Grixis deck. Like, it's still just going to, like, do very degenerate things to me, but yeah, dealing with Nicol Bolas was pretty huge. And permanently dealing with it, I should say, in one of the most permanent senses. They never really stole anything crazy off the agent, but the agent did allow them to simply make this game last more than 2 turns. Like, they had the board locked down with my cards, right? Like, the agent literally bought them 10 turns or 12 turns. However, how many turns the game was because of these cards. I just bought them in insane amount of time. But, if we do a draw go thing, we're gonna really start to pull ahead with something like this, right? And it was wise of me to not swing with this to trade off earlier, because when this swings, it gives things trample, and as you can see, it would be very good to give these things trample in this spot, and +1/+1 with the double strike. So crazy game. Oh no, my opponent raises my Minidork with one of their own. Hopefully it lets Wash Away be a... Oh wait, never mind. I lied. All is well. I don't have triple green. I guess I am just simply casting this. Alright. Very crucial that my commander does not die, and if it does, well, shoot. Nullhide is one of the worst things to have right now. Priest of Titania is bonkers. Okay, this was a lot better. Am I casting it? If I do... I'm not leaving up Wash Away. There's no way I don't cast this, right? Like, I can't just simply do nothing. That was literally the best draw I could have asked for, is any untapped blue source. It's one of my best draws there. I played another elf. This taps for 3. Man, talking about mana drain being nuts. Whoops. Well, at least I have the answer here, so I'll just instantly lose. Okay, I'm gonna have to kill this, methinks. With probably Archdruid's Charm or something of the sort. That is really funny. I don't have triple green though, do I? Yikes. Big yikes, actually. Let's see if I can draw it. No and no. Alright. Problems are here and they are here to stay. Is there any reason to not swing here? I don't think so. Alright. Well, I guess they can recast their commander. And it is a 2/4. If they tap out to cast it, I can just kill it. So I guess I'm not too upset with that. Okay, I lost my commander's text box. Not too big of a deal at this point. We already have Beast Whisperer going. A little annoying though. And excuse me, Guardian Project. Okay, never mind. Oh wait, what do you take here? Okay, they take Elish Norn. Probably want to do that first, so they wouldn't have taken damage. That could have been way worse. I set my opponent back very far if I kill this priest. So I guess I should do that, huh? Oh, right. We already talked about this. I don't have the mana to do that. I don't have triple green. So this, Frilled Mystic. I don't really have a lot of exciting things to do right now. I guess I'm just doing this and nothing else. I can swing with this as well. If my opponent trades, I feel like there is no way I'm upset with that. They're just not going to trade. Their Priest of Titania is far more valuable than my Beast Whisperer. I will counter literally anything. They have some kind of 1-mana spell, I think. I think they've had it for a while, so I think it's green. It isn't Veil of Summer. I don't really know. Found the green source, but it is tapped, of course. No big deal, though. I almost actually want another land. Oh, we also randomly got another partner, so if you ever get another one, it might be a thing. Neat. Very neat. Okay, send it. I love to see this. Ah, rip. Dang it. Opponent's wise beyond their years. Alright, now that my board is excellent and my opponent's almost dead, I guess I'll just leave up a surprise 4/4. But there's an argument to doing almost literally anything at this point, because they're at 6. Sure, it has Summoning Sickness. Oh, I played another elf, too. This Priest of Titania is bonkers. Priest is nuts. This priest is crazy. This is tapping for like all the mana in the world. Maybe I should just literally run the card. That's crazy. There we go. Got it. Let's flash this in. I don't know if it wins the game right now, but, like, it's close to just killing my opponent. It is close. I can kill something with the Archdruid's Charm before I start the swingies. Suppose I will. So, 1/1 counter here. Actually, is there a new breakpoint? No, there is not. And we just kill Chulane. Kill the Kool-Aid. And then commit assault. The Mystic is another elf? Yeah, the Frilled Mystic, yep. So that was 4. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Okay, they go to 1. I get my 4/4 back. Now my opponent really needs to do something. Well, I have nothing else to do. This doesn't have flash, right? No. Oh, this would have won, huh? I didn't know it had text on it. Oh, I messed up. I jacked it up. Alright, well, I guess I'm just casting it. Yep, I missed lethal there. That's my bad. I missed lethal. It's alright, though. My opponent will need to do some utterly ridiculous things to not die right now. And they don't have them. Nice. Because I missed lethal there, I shouldn't have cast this. I probably should have cast Guardian Project instead, just so if they did somehow miraculously deal with the board, I could, you know, then proceed to drown them in value again. I only have 5 elves in my deck, and in that game, I drew 3 of them. Is this... I think this is the Tatyova, but, like, worse. You play an additional land, and then whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw. Otherwise, discard. So you must discard unless your hand is empty. I see. Alright, so maybe there's some kind of nonsense this deck gets to do. Let's find out. It's like an Azusa, but weirder. I do have a way to completely shut it off, too, with this witness protection. If I feel like it's a problem. Bolt the Bird? Is this the old Bolt the Bird? Oh my goodness, is it actually? Oh, it's not, Sag. I was about to say, the first time I played Birds of Paradise, it gets lightning bolted. That would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That would actually have been pretty cool. Temple Garden... Commander. I almost don't want to shut this off, just so I see what the deck does. Teamer usually just combos. Doesn't really do other things. I guess, you know what? I can just make the excuse that I want to shut this down instead. Let's play a land. Tap green, green. Just manually tap so I don't jack this up here. Cast you. And then Witness Protection Bristly Bill. Which is kind of unfortunate. I really almost don't want to... I don't know, do I? I really don't know what to do right now. I feel like I can just beat this. I'm more intimidated by my opponent's commander than I am Bristly Bill becoming large and scary. And if it does, I guess I can deal with it later in some kind of way. I don't know. I just want to see what my opponent's commander can do. So they cast it, play a land, and then immediately discard. Maybe, you know what? Maybe my opponent's command zone is irrelevant. Maybe it doesn't matter. It's just sitting there doing nothing. Would I be so surprised? Would I be surprised? No, I would not. We're getting close to Tooth and Nail surprise killing anyways. It's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I'm gonna use this mana. Swords is just another perfect answer, and I guess I will just send it. And, I will play the Kami, so I have more creatures in play for my Tooth and Nail. And I will not swing, so I have this... I mean, I you know what, I honestly could have swung. I could have swung there. Uh-oh. I'm bugged out. Go away. Thank you. Okay, they discarded that. Vorn clicks. Sure. This makes me think their commander kind of matters. They played something that goes to the graveyard and does things from there. Okay, so you got some sort of rug draw discard deck. Cool. My first commander deck was Rug. It was Maelstrom Wanderer. Okay, I'm a lot closer than I was a second ago. Go away. Hey, look at that. You know what? Let's do this. Alright, so now we are completely there. Let us swingies. I don't think they're going to block the Kami, but maybe they do, I don't know. This isn't lethal, they could just simply take it. Both their creatures have value, yep. Everyone agrees. And yeah, let's pass. I can I do this? Channel one less for each legendary. I have 2. Okay, so I can channel this. So I have a get out of jail free card, sort of, if they do something crazy. But as it stands, I'm not seeing any crazy things. That is not crazy. They discarded 2 cards, sure. I like what my opponent is doing, it's just, it seems like it's struggling to get the wheels turning here. Might not be fast enough. Sure. Now they must discard. Sure. Very strange commander. Very strange. Opponent just has no cards in hand. Very weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, let's get this game now. Just tooth and nail them. And send them to the nether realm. Yeah. Kind of unfortunate. I kind of want to see more of my opponent's deck, but I mean, I'm here to win. Crew call players be like, yep. Oh wait, what is this? Sacrifice of food. So if you do not have a food, you can't kill this. And then other creatures are foods, so you sacrifice your creatures. I see. All right. Commander. This is a black-green deck that played a ramp spell, so I'm not too pretty. Oh, there's a new art for Command Tower. I don't really like it that much. I'm not one for rainbows. not the rainbow type. Don't have Fatal Push. Come on. Okay. Alright, that's fine. That is totally fine. Alright. Land and this. Yeah. Kind of awkward, actually. My hand is very awkward. Let's see. Tap that. This. Okay. I have no choice. Just take that one. It draws a card, it gets this going, and it also just hits a land that is relevant, so. Just kind of weird. Laughing Jasper Flint. Well, see, you're sadomasochistic, so that's on you. That is on you, my friend. Arcane Signet. My opponent's got some neat art. I'm liking all the new art that's going on right now. It's pretty cool. I'm kind of surprised they minused. That's actually kind of interesting. I feel like I would not have done that. Does that mean they're just going to block? Do I even care? I kind of care. It's kind of depressing to just... You know what? I'm going to just do this. Let's see what happens. That was a really good draw. I can kill their... No, I'm going to use it to kill their commander, I think. Alternatively, it is very good to kill Liliana, so I don't lose to it. Alright. I think this is way too good to pass up. It does shut me down of using my commander, but, like... If the only thing my opponent has is their commander, are we really that scared? Not really. It's like a Gitrog monster that doesn't have lands. Yeah, I mean, I like mediocre commanders, don't get me wrong. I do be liking them. I do be liking them. Oh, hey, it's Questing Beast. That's a pretty good card. That my opponent can't really block. I'll take one. I probably could have just made this a green source. Yeah, I probably could have just done that. Oh, too late. Yep, I'm just swing with this because it has the old Death Touchy-Wutchy. And my opponent doesn't really have any good blocks or attacks. Blood Artist, I do not care. Abrupt Decay. No. Oh, wait. Nope, never mind. You can't counter Abrupt Decay. Good thing I caught that. Good thing I caught that. The Questing Beast is just, like, very depressing for my opponent. And I also have an indestructible creature that can just block forever. So this is, like, we're in an excellent spot. I can activate this as well, right? I'm just sitting real pretty. They named Cat, so Essence Scatter is very good at dealing with a lot of things like that. Did I have to counter this? Not necessarily. Utter insignificance. I like the surprise aspect of it. I don't necessarily have to cast it right now. I think I'll leave up all my mana this turn because my opponent has no cards in hand, and then I'll just mana sync the reveal here instead of, like, doing it right now. Sanguine, blah blah blah. I'm just gonna counter anything. They're probably close to concede at this point. Unless I misclick and sacrifice my creatures. Oh hey, look, it's a mana drain. I'll take that. Yep, get wrecked. Get wrecked. Yep, so once we're in a position like this, they're totally screwed. I don't even know if I needed this. I could have hit a litany of other things and just completely annihilated my opponent. But enjoy the sodium. Rocco. The weird exiling one that every time I've seen it has backfired. Well, this hand is funny, but is that good? Probably not. Oh man, I really want to keep this though. I really, really want to keep this hand. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep this. It's just like, feels very depressing to play against, and I will take that. On the draw with the Surveil lands is also pretty good, so. Let's leave our options up. Gotta love these end-step Fable passages that always hit a tap land. You can't do anything about it. It's not like not doing... Like, imagine I had like a Stifle that I top-decked. It would have felt really bad. Mox Amber, sure. Play the Rocco. There you go. There's nothing else your deck does. There you go. Let's go get our breeding pool. Then make our opponent Sag. Do I play my own commander? Let's see why not. They can't rebuttal with theirs. Also, if they do, I mean, I can deal it twice. I don't have anything to go with my commander, so maybe them just trying to kill it is fine. Feels kind of bad, but, like, I wasn't doing anything anyways. I'd rather not... Okay, wait, what does this do? Thopters have haste. Okay, there's the answer. What does this do? When you cast a land or spell from exile. Oh. Oh, okay, so Nullhide is interesting, but maybe not. Do I play Guardian Project? I don't know. Not feeling good about this spot, honestly. I think I need to play Guardian Project. Yeah, alright. Feels kind of ugly, but, like, fine. I guess? When does this do its thing? Oh, they had a tap land get wrecked. They can't cast it. Oh, yes they can. This is a legendary. Never mind. They do not cast it. Alright. Smooth Brain aggro takes over. Yet again. Well, I have no choice but to deal with that, so I will. Probably have no choice but to play this, so the board is moderately controlled. I will have to shut that down as well, albeit not permanently. Oh hey, I got a mana drain. Whenever a player casts till your next end step. Okay. So, always dealing with Rocco. And then pass. My opponent can't play into this mana drain they know about. They just shocked themselves. That's interesting. Yep. They did shock themselves. I wonder if they like thought about a card that was really good and then realized they couldn't cast it because we had a mana drain for free. You know what? Whatever that card is, maybe I'm willing to keep this. I will kick it, and I will deal with your Jetmir's Garden. I don't really care about Cavern Souls. Can I play my own? Just get a Surveil Land again. Okay, well, that's a good card here. Or it's as good as it's going to get, and I haven't actually really cast it yet, so that's kind of exciting. Probably not in a position to attack. So that would have been their 8th mana, so maybe that is Crater Hoof? No, that's not true. They already had 8 mana. Right, yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I just don't know what this Stomping Ground Shock means. Okay, I guess that does make sense. But no, they wouldn't have played the land first. They would not have played a land first. So I guess it really doesn't make sense. Oh man, we get to see Beza do things. Oh, I'm excited. Get to see it do things. So they see my whole hand, right? Okay. So they should not take a card that is the only thing I can cast, like Beza. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm a ways away from casting this anyways, though, so it's a little awkward. I can generate a Reach 3/3 and then not worry about the Thopters, like, annihilating me, I guess? I don't care about the flip side of this, oh wait, maybe I do. Yeah, okay, the flip side of that is a problem, never mind. This discounts the Beza by 2, so I cast this first. I'm not in a position to cast my commander, which is bad, but what am I going to do, right? I can cast this and then sack it to Flare. No, I can't, because I have to pay 2 for the Nullhide. Just literally can't do that. Okay, traffic. Okay, well, it's close to just simply being lethal. So, I will swing with the 6/6 because there's no amazing blocks. No, that's not true. They can just simply chump it. There are pretty... Just blocking with a 1/1 is actually good for my opponent. So if they swing, they have less toughness to block with. So let's hope there's no Crater Hoof. I love to see math being done right now. It means my Crater Hoof is very scary. I love to see math. Math is good. Math is healthy. Them thinking about it. Alright, yep. So they look at that. Math is for blockers, and it's the first person I've ever played that saw Crater Hoof and is like, I can't block and live. And I can't kill you. I can't kill you this turn with an Alpha Strike, so. Okay, so I really liked this commander. It just sort of plays blue counter spells and then, you know, the really powerful 1-drops. Most of my games, I felt like it was absolutely, or at least borderline, necessary to have a 1-drop. So I could play this on turn 2 and then play these on turn 3. That is so powerful. It is insanely powerful to do that. And not doing that means your other opener has to be, like, extremely efficient at stopping your opponent from trampling over you, like having counter spells up instead of doing anything else, or Swords of Plowshares or stuff like that. I was a little light on removal, but it never really felt that bad. I had a really good win rate. I won all the daily 15 games under, well, just about 2 hours. I was over 2 hours. Let's be real here. But yeah, I usually don't get to win 15 games that fast. This did pretty well. It was playing against things that are also new, so, you know, it wasn't playing against, like, Teferi or something, but In gummed up board states, the Crater Hoof was definitely the mirror breaker if we were both staring at each other with a bunch of creatures, and the fact that a lot of my cards simply draw a card is completely disgusting. So any game where they didn't immediately kill this, I'm just gonna start doing stuff, and that stuff is kind of hard to deal with when it continuously replaces itself. Beast Whisperer and Guardian, whatever, the Guardian Project thing, it was just very, very good because it was like another copy of my commander without all the free mana that comes with this. There were plenty of games I won where this died, and then I just proceeded to cast 4 drops without it. Once it dies, it is rather difficult to recast it and then continue your strategy. It's kind of actually very hard to do that now that I'm thinking about it. This commander does not have any enter the battlefield effect. It just sort of looks at your opponent. It doesn't actually do anything at all the turn you play it. So casting this for 5 mana after it has died is extremely difficult, especially when, you know, the next turn you're at 4 mana and you're not going to cast this again. And now you're just casting 4 drops without this in play, because that's what you want to do anyways. So it's very hard to recast this, but for the most part that wasn't a super big deal, because the things I'm doing once my commander does die is just sort of decent, and my opponent probably feels like they have to continuously deal with everything I'm doing. And that was pretty nice. I did like that. The 4-drop city strategy is pretty good. I do like it. Nullhide was annoying, but probably not annoying enough to where I don't want to play it. Like, it's still just a good card to cast and have sit there. Like, it's not that amazing, but it is pretty big, and it does have hexproof, so it is up to your opponent to, like, disable that. It has, like, Ward 2. It has Ward 2. It doesn't have hexproof, because your opponent can disable the hexproof for 2 mana. So it's essentially Ward 2. And it's just solid. I do like it. It's cool to just play it. I never got a Hydroid Krasis, which really sucks. But now that I'm thinking about it, not really that surprising. If this is at like 5 counters, or let's say 5 power, and I have Hydroid Krasis in play, that means I've probably drawn 5 cards off of this, so I have a bunch of different options in hand, and there's never really a spot where this is big. I only have 1 or 2 cards in my hand, because all of my cards are replacing themselves as I cast them because this is in play. And I have a Hydroid Krasis. So this needs to be big. I need to have not a lot of other things to do and would have to want to cast this. It has a very strong effect if I get to do it. It's just, again, I might have a bunch of other options. Drawing another 5 cards is nice, and making a big flying trample is nice, but, like, what if I just played the other cards in my hand? Like 3-4 mana cards or something like that? Just tap this for 5, tap my other, other mana in play, or rather tap 4 lands, cast a card, draw, tap another 4, cast a card, draw, and then this is at 6 or 7, and then I tap this and cast 2 more spells or something. Like, do I really ever need to cast this? Well, no. So it's in an awkward spot, and it's like a very good late game top deck, but that late game top deck would imply that my commander is not alive. So its best scenario, its best, like, situation is my commander not being around, and I also have not many cards in hand, and I'm, like, willing to just dump a turn into drawing some cards. So kind of weird, but I think it's still just a card that does fit in this deck, but there's an argument that it could just be anything else. Maybe even like a Cultivate. I was not too upset with the idea of running more than just Flare of Cultivation. I edit this late. I don't think I started the game with the start of the video with this, so there's definitely an argument to running Cultivate into the north and stuff. I've just like random ramp spells. It's a little weird because I'm still trying to go 1 into 3, but not every game is going to be like that, even though now even more will, because Birds of Paradise exists. Congratulations, Wizards. So now we even have another one to deal with. I can even run Mox Amber, because there are a lot of like random legendaries in the 4-mana cards, and Mox Amber would just simply work. I mean, it even works if my commander's ever in play, right? It's really good with 2s and 3-mana, 1s and 2-mana commanders, but I think Mox Amber probably could come in here. I really do. I never got O'Hare in play. I think there was a game where I was about to with a Mana Drain, but my opponent wisely conceded because I cast Mana Drain. So I never got to like justify the 5-mana creature. But I think this in Vorinclex still, there's an argument for having both in here. But yeah, I mean, I like this commander. It's cool. You never really run out of things to do. You always have spells to cast. That's kind of cool. I liked that feeling. And there's certainly more options than the ones I was running, right? Just specifically from the new set, when it comes to cards that care about the text box, there weren't too many new cards that care about the text box. There are new spells that are decent in the Bant colors, but I'm trying to make room for the text box. So I didn't have a lot of options from Bloomburrow. But yeah, so the main takeaway is this commander is fun to play, and it did really well. And Birds of Paradise exists. You can't find it under the Bloomburrow set. It is under whatever that is, that set, the BRC or whatever, yeah, the BLC thing. So let me know what you thought about this commander. If you have ideas to make it more commander-y somehow, even though I'm running basically as many 4-drops as you could probably get away with, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.